I recently realized I can't even get through a full movie without checking it. Okay, just let that sink in for a second. Imagine sitting down to watch a film and your brain is just so wired for constant, rapid-fire stimulation that you physically cannot go 2 hours without lighting up a screen. This was the raw, honestly pretty vulnerable realization from content creator Serena, and it kicked off a radical experiment. She noticed her hand felt like it literally just needed to be holding her phone at all times. And honestly, I think a whole lot of us can relate to that uncomfortable truth.
Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. If you're someone who loves to learn how to optimize your life and really dig into the psychology behind our daily habits, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're unpacking this fascinating real-world case study, a complete 7-day social media detox. We're going to trace an incredible psychological transformation arc here. We're going from the jittery depths of digital addiction to the profound peace of reclaimed presence. So we'll visually walk through every single hurdle and triumph of this journey, giving you a clear roadmap of what actually happens to a human brain when you completely pull the plug on the scroll.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the screen time problem, confronting reality.
You know, before any real change can happen, you've got to confront the undeniable, usually uncomfortable facts of your current reality. For Sydney, that meant looking at the one metric we all kind of dread checking, the daily screen time report. And looking at the sheer scale of the habit here, we're confronted with a grand total of 4 hours and 13 minutes of daily screen time. YouTube sits at a pretty modest 25 minutes. Instagram, that takes up a solid hour and 12 minutes. But the absolute primary culprit here, the main driver behind her need for a cold turkey deletion, is TikTok. It was consuming an astonishing 2 hours and 36 minutes every single day. Seeing this data, it makes it abundantly clear why she felt like her phone was controlling her life from the exact second she woke up. So to fix this, she didn't just set app limits. Nope, she deleted the apps completely.
Which brings us to part 2, the digital withdrawal. Time to enter the trenches.
So when you abruptly cut off that daily hit of dopamine, your brain absolutely fights back. In fact, just 10 minutes, that is how deeply ingrained this subconscious habit was. 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes after deleting the apps, she found herself trying to check them twice, and she didn't even realize she was doing it. Her hand just instinctively moved to find the app icon that wasn't even there anymore. It's really a perfect illustration of how these platforms train our muscle memory before our conscious brain even has a split second to register a thought.
And that leads us directly into what we can probably call the phantom scroll and the 2-day crash out. For the first 48 hours, she was experiencing this restless anxiety, caught in this endless loop of reaching for her phone every 5 to 10 minutes. Imagine the discomfort of trying to do completely normal, quiet things, eating dinner or trying to watch a true crime documentary, and feeling completely lost, just staring at the wall because there's no secondary screen there to stimulate you. She described these first 2 days as a literal crash out, a state where even just the act of waking up and having nothing to check made it incredibly hard to even want to get out of bed.
Now, a really crucial point here is how she initially tried to cope with this. Her first instinct was to seek out substitute stimulation. She essentially started cutting corners by filling the quiet void with podcasts and music. But she quickly had this massive realization: if the goal of the detox is to actually reset the brain, well, flooding it with background noise is entirely counterproductive, right? To find true presence, she had to force herself to just sit with the silence. She had to actively choose to let go of the background noise and just journal, write out her to-do lists, and actually be alone with the thoughts and feelings she usually distracted herself from.
Moving on to part 3, the turning point and those midweek hurdles. By midweek, the physical urges start to fade, but then the psychological challenge really kicks in across 3 specific hurdles. Because how do you navigate the modern world, your career, and your social life without your favorite digital crutch? Step 1 was navigating social anxiety. She was actually invited to New York Fashion Week to see this beautiful show by Syncept, complete with a live youth choir. But without her phone to lean on as a social crutch, she felt deeply exposed and anxious in that crowd. Then, step 2 was a logistical hurdle, how to literally do her job. She needed to post a thank you to the brand, so she had to text her manager her passwords and outsource the posting entirely just to protect her detox. And finally, step 3, productive focus. With all this reclaimed time, she funneled her energy into deep, quiet work. She meticulously built a physical mood board for her jewelry brand's new Core Basics collection. She literally sacrificed a real earring for it, printed out photos, and experienced this deep satisfaction that an hour of mindless scrolling could just never provide.
And this leads to what is probably the biggest psychological breakthrough of the entire week.
While she was out at a dinner party, a friend expressed shock that she could just delete her apps, especially since, social media is her actual job. But rather than inducing panic, it sparked this profoundly empowering ego check. As the quote says, "No one is going to miss me for a week. The world goes on." It turns out the fear of missing out, FOMO, is a complete illusion. We constantly convince ourselves we have to consume everything, but stepping away revealed that the world keeps spinning just fine without our constant digital presence.
Okay, part 4. The present moment. Reclaiming peace.
As we move past day 4, the entire narrative tone shifts. The panic is gone, the phantom scrolling is completely stopped, and her nervous system finally begins to actually regulate itself. Just look at the stark shift here. On days 1 and 2, she was anxious, overwhelmed by her daily to-do lists, and completely content-obsessed. She was constantly analyzing her life through this lens of, what can I take a picture of right now? But by days 5 through 7, a profound peace set in. She was enjoying sesame seed bagels from Black Seed Bagels, feeling way less stressed, and acting completely in the moment. And the peak of this was Valentine's Day. She went ice skating in Central Park with her boyfriend, completely happy, truly present, and without a single thought about capturing the moment for an audience.
And from there, the victory started to become very, very concrete. Look at this number, 45. On a dreary day, she took herself to a coffee shop to read a book titled, honestly very fittingly, My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Usually, her attention span would be fractured, right? Constantly pulled back to checking Instagram. But here, her attention span was repaired enough that she successfully sat and read for 45 straight minutes without a single distraction. That's huge. Which brings us right back full circle, 0. That is the number of times she checked her phone when she went to the theater with her roommate to see the new movie Wuthering Heights starring Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Remember her realization from the very beginning of The Explainer? She couldn't even get through a movie without checking her screen? Well now, by the end of the week, she sat through the entire film, fully emotionally engaged, literally crying at the sad parts, with 0 phone checks. She entirely reclaimed her ability to just sit back and be entertained. And finally, part 5, the final takeaways. Reclaiming agency. This detox wasn't about permanently throwing her smartphone into the ocean and saying goodbye to the internet forever. It was about something much more valuable. Looking back at this incredible 7-day psychological transformation arc, it's pretty fascinating to see it mapped out like this. Day 1 starts with the uncomfortable truth of subconscious reaching. Day 2 is that painful crash-out withdrawal phase. Then by day 4, the magic happens. The nervous system begins regulating itself and dropping the anxiety. And finally, by day 7, she achieved total emotional presence. It really shows us that an overwhelming 4-hour-a-day habit can absolutely give way to focused peace in just 1 week. So what should we really take away from all this? First up, FOMO is an illusion. Life goes on perfectly well while you look away. Second, constantly living in content creation mode actively destroys your ability to be present in your own life. Third, and perhaps most importantly, your phone does not control you. True power isn't about total isolation. True power is choosing exactly when and how you want to engage with the digital world. The ultimate goal of a detox like this is simply to teach yourself balance. And that leaves us with a final, somewhat provocative question to turn the mirror back on you. Take a look at your own screen time today. Really look at your own habits. Could you survive a week completely disconnected? And honestly, more importantly, what kind of peace, productivity, and presence might you discover on the other side if you actually tried? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me on The Explainer today. I really hope this sparked your curiosity and maybe even inspired your own digital reset. Until next time, stay focused and keep learning.